Hello everyone and welcome back to TradeSmart, where we share the latest and greatest trading strategies to help you achieve your goals in trading. And today we've got something really exciting to share with you. We've created a brand new objective rules-based strategy that's unlike anything we've shown you before. This strategy is specifically designed for trading stocks with a focus on Coca Cola using the 50-minute chart. And let me tell you, the backtest results speaks for itself. It not only has a whopping 370% net profit, but the trading fees are also included. And the best part is that you can get access to this and all of our other strategies and turn them into a trading bot. If you are interested, check out our Patreon and become one of our Smart Trader tier Patreon supporters. In this video, I will show you how you can trade this strategy manually, then I will show you and talk about the equity curve and the results. Without further ado, let's get right into it. First, open up TradingView and set up the Coca Cola 15-minute chart. Now let's talk about the strategy itself. This strategy is a mean reverting strategy that enters into a long position after a big move to the downside has occurred. In extreme conditions like these, we expect the price to correct back to the upside before moving further down. To identify these rapid pullbacks, I've used a simple RSI. To showcase you how our premium scripts can handle such a complex strategy, I will start building up the strategy for manual trading using this script. So let's open up our premium script. Okay, first of all, on the top you can see that the super trend is ticked, which is going to be used as our entry signal indicator. Here you can see its settings, so let's add it to the chart. Type in super trend and click on this one. Now let's change its settings, so it's the same as in our premium script. Change the period to 1. And the ATR multiplier to 0.1. As you can see, in its current state it gives a lot of entry signals, but don't worry, we will filter out around 90% of them. Back to the premium script. If we scroll down, the next thing we can find is the exit strategy. The exit strategy is basically our stop loss placements. For this strategy I used a simple ATR based stop loss with a 100 ATR length and an RMA smoothing. The base risk is going to be at a 4 times ATR, and the risk-to-reward ratio, which defines the take profit, is set to a 1.4. This means that on each trade we will risk 1 unit to lose to make 1.4 unit. So next, let's set up the take profit and stop loss levels. Go into the indicators tab and type in NNFX ATR. Add this one to your chart. Now open up its settings. Change the X value, which is the ATR length, to 100, the SL to 4, which is the stop loss distance, and the TP to 5.6, because 4 multiplied by 1.4 is equals to 5.6. Now go into the style settings, change the line styles to step line, and untick the main ATR. If we take a look at the chart, you can see 2 red lines and 2 blue lines. The red lines will be the stop loss placements and the blue lines are the take profit placements. For example, if we would have entered into a long position right on this buy signal, we would have placed our stop loss to the lower red line and the take profit to the upper blue line. And as you can see, that is a 1 to 1.4 risk to reward ratio. Let's continue setting up the strategy. We got our stop loss and take profit levels. Let's move on. The next settings we apply to this strategy is to only allow long entries, so it is a long only strategy. The order sizing is going to be 5,000 contracts or 5,000 shares on each trade. Moving on, we tick the enter trades on all signals function. This means that the strategy will open a new position if the conditions are met, even if we have a currently open position. Moving on to the filters. The first one is the simple RSI filter. Here you can see its settings, a 50 RSI length and a simple RSI long boundary. Let's add this RSI to the chart and see how it works. Type in RSI, go into its settings, set the RSI length to 50, set its source to HLC3, go into its styles tab, untick the RSI based MA as we won't need that, and untick the upper band, the middle band, the lower band and the background fills. One last step is to add a horizontal line at the 50 level. Okay, the rule for this filter is the following. We can only enter into a long position if the RSI value, which is this purple line, is below the 50 level, which is this white line. So, for example, an entry on this buy signal would have been still valid as the RSI line was under the 50 level at that time. Let's continue. To visualize the next filter, I will make our premium script visible so you can see how it works. Going back to the script, let's find that filter. Okay, here it is. This filter is called distance from MA. With this filter, we can limit how close the price should be to a set moving average, in this case a smoothed moving average of 200 length, for the entries to be still valid. As you can see, with this filter I set up a 0% low limit and a 1% high limit. And that is visible on the chart in this red area. So here is our moving average, and this distance to the downside is 1% and to the upside is also 1%. As you can see, the distance limiter type is set to reverse. And that's because with this strategy I don't want to enter into any position if the price is near to the moving average. Why? This strategy focuses on entering into a long position after a huge move to the downside has happened. In these cases, I expect to see a quick and rapid correction back to the moving average. And as you can see, here is a perfect example for that. We have a huge move to the downside, the strategy enters into a long position, and the price quickly goes back near to the moving average. To set up this filter to your chart, you will have to use one of our free indicators, which is the distance from MA. This indicator is not public, but you can get access to it by going down into the description and finding the Google form link to it. Once you filled out that Google form, you will be granted with a private access to this indicator. Let's add this to the chart and see how it looks like. Go into its settings, set the MA type to SMMA, set the MA length to 200, set the low limit to 0, and set the high limit to 1. And finally, the distance limiter type should be set to reverse. If you take a look now at the indicator, you can see blue bars. Also, above the 1% level, which you can see on the right side, the area is colored green. This means that trades are only allowed when the blue bars are above this 1% area. So, throughout this period, you could have entered into a long trade. But if the top of the bar is inside the red area, you can't enter into a trade. Simple as that. Moving on, back to our premium script. The next filter is one of my favorites. I basically use it at around 90 or 80% of all of my optimizations, and it is called the candle momentum. The candle momentum tracks the movement of the price and can indicate when the momentum is bullish or is bearish. Here we can see its settings, which is 15, the source is HLCC4, the MA type is SMMA, and the MA length is 4. Let's set up this to the chart and I will explain how it works. Go back to the indicators tab, type in candle momentum, and add this one to your chart. Also, we will need an SMMA, so type in SMMA and click on the smoothed moving average. Now find the SMMA, which is this purple line in this case, click on it and start pulling it down until you reach the candle mo. Once you're there, release it. Now go into the SMMA settings, change its length to 4, change its source to candle mo, then switch to the style settings and change its color to whatever you like. I usually use white. Now open up the candle momentum settings, set its length to 15 and set its source to HLCC4. Okay, as you can see, when the blue line, which is the candle momentum, is above the white line, the price usually moves up. But when the opposite happens, so the candle momentum line is under the white SMMA line, the price usually goes to the downside. So with this indicator, we are only allowed to enter into a long position if the blue candle momentum line is above the white SMMA line. We don't have much filters left, so bear with me. Going back to the premium script, the next filter is the candle height limiter. The reason why I use this filter is because entering when the candles are too big is not a good idea, as the move to the downside or the upside has already happened and the risk-reward ratio won't be good at all. In this case, I limited the strategy to only enter into a long position if the entry signal candle is not higher than 0.5%. To set this up to your chart, go into the Indicators tab and type in candle height, and you will find the candle height in percentage indicator. So click on this one. Now go into its settings, untick this plot section, and untick this plot section. Finally, we will need to add a horizontal line at the 0.5 level. So the rule is the following. If the entry signal candle is above the 0.5 level, we can't enter into a long position. But if it's under the 0.5 level, we are allowed to take any long positions we want. Simple as that. I think there's only one indicator left, so going back to the premium script, let's scroll down. The last rule is a simple time limiter. With this strategy, I found that trading before 10:30 AM after 1:30 is not beneficial. So I limited the trading hours to be between 10:30 and 1:30 PM. To apply this rule to the strategy, you can either just check the timeline and see if the entry signal is inside the valid trading hours range. Also, make sure to set the timeline to the exchange's time zone. Or you can simply just type in hours highlight and add this one to your chart. Go into its settings, untick the Euro session, and change the New York session to 10:30 till 13:30. Also go into the Styles tab and change the first background color to a bit higher opacity. Now, as you can see, this indicator will highlight the valid trading hours, which is from 10:30 till 13:30. Okay, now you know all the rules for this strategy. Let me show you a few trade examples, then I will talk about the backtest results. As you can see, the strategy entered into a long position right on this candle. First of all, we got a buy signal from the super trend. The RSI was under the 50 level. The distance from the moving average was above 1%. The candle momentum line, which is the blue line, was above the SMMA, which is the white line. And the candle body height was under the 0.5 limit. So all of the conditions are met for a long entry, and we can enter into a long position. As this candle was the signal candle, we can only enter into a long position after this candle has closed, so it will be an entry on the next candle's open. The stop loss will be placed at the signal candle's NNFX ATR level, and the take profit will be placed at the upper blue NNFX ATR level. And this trade hit its take profit target right there. Let's see another long example, as this strategy is longs only. First of all, the super trend gave a buy signal right there. Then, as you can see, the RSI is under the 50 level, the distance from the moving average is more than 1%, the candle momentum is bullish, it's above the white line, and the candle height in percentage is under 0.5%, so all of the conditions are met for a long entry. The strategy has entered into a long position on the next candle's open. The take profit and stop loss levels are set to the NNFX ATR lines, stop loss to the red one and the take profit to the blue one. And as you can see, this was another winning trade. Now you know all the rules of this strategy. I know this strategy is very complicated to trade manually and not the one you usually see on YouTube. That's why we created these Premium TradingView Scripts that can be set up with just a few clicks and can automatically and instantly show you real backtesting results. Now let's take a look at the results and talk about the equity curve in more detail. I backtested the strategy using 7 years of price data from 2016 to 2023 with 4 ticks of slippage and a $0.03 commission after each share or contract. Using a non-compounding position sizing, the strategy took 382 trades and generated a whopping 371% net profit. This means that this strategy outperformed the simple buy and hold strategy of Coca Cola by more than 10 times. And if we would have used a compounding position sizing, meaning that we reinvest the profits each time, the profits could have been as high as 500 to 800%. With a profit factor of 1.7 and a win rate of 61%, this strategy has a moderate max drawdown of 17%. Considering that the risk-to-reward ratio is only a 1 to 1.4, 61% win rate is pretty good. Looking at the equity curve, you can see a nice uptrend with a brief sideways period and a moderate pullback. The pullback does not bother me at all, as it wasn't that big, but the sideways period seems to be a bit too long lasting for me. In conclusion, considering that the fees are included, the results and the equity curve is not bad at all, but I've seen better results in some of our crypto strategies. Just remember, past performance does not guarantee future results. I am not a financial advisor and none of our content is financial advice. It is totally possible that the strategy won't work in the future. That's why I always monitor every optimization and strategy that we release to our Smart Trader tier members on Patreon before I put any trust in them. So, if you want to take your trading to the next level, be sure to like, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss any of our upcoming content. And if you are ready to start using our best tools available, check out our Patreon and become one of our Smart Trader tier Patreon supporters. By becoming one of our supporters, you will get access to all of our Premium TradingView strategy scripts, optimizations and to our Discord server. If you are not satisfied with our tools, we offer a refund within the first 2 weeks of your membership. What do you think about this strategy? Would you trade it? Or do you have an idea how we can improve its performance? Let me know down in the comment section. If you are interested in our premium scripts and the strategies that we were able to create with them, check out this playlist. And with that, as always, thank you all for watching, have an amazing day and see you in the next video.